All right, everybody, good morning. We have made it to Thursday once again, and with Thursday comes Pass Rush Thursday. And this was another game where the Seahawks, the pass defense, did their job. Now, this week, I think it had a little more to do with the pass rush than the actual coverage. Last week was the opposite because we had no pass rush against the Eagles, but either way, we actually got the job done here. And it was another game where we didn't necessarily get the job done in some other areas. So every little bit counts. Every little area where this team can crank out just a little bit of an edge is very crucial here. So let's take a look at how these players held up in coverage respectively. Starting with the linebackers and Wagner, he's been a problem here yet again. 4 targets, 4 completions, and I believe we are looking at a grand total of 35 yards. It's not awful, but again, every week teams are really starting to hound him in coverage. They're making it very hard for us to continue to play him. And again, I think that there is probably a way to utilize him that this isn't as big of a problem, but we don't seem to grasp it. So every week we just have to deal with it. 521 yards allowed in coverage. If the next 2 teams we play decide to go at him a decent amount, we're talking 600 yards, which, I mean, it's been worse, but it's also been better, and it should be better. And it's an indictment on this coaching staff that we brought him in without an understanding of how to use him. Most of the yards were after the catch. His QB rating allowed is up to 117.3. So, yeah, we're definitely headed in a bad direction there. But look, when you ask him to be in coverage all the time, you know this is going to happen. Devin Bush, on the other hand, who played most of this game, was targeted once, 1 completion for 3 yards, all yak. So Devin Bush didn't really pick on him in coverage at all. Now, it's a relatively small sample size. I don't know if Devin Bush is actually a good coverage player, but so far this year, we're talking 49 yards on 11 targets. I can live with that from a linebacker all day. That's pretty good. I'm feeling okay about that. Brooks did not get targeted before he got hurt. He got hurt pretty quickly. So, nothing to really say there. So, the linebacker room is, I mean, it is as it usually is. Wagner gets beat up, but the other guys hold their own. The edge room, I believe Draymond Jones was the one who got targeted in this game. No, it wasn't. It was Derek Hall. I think it was Derek Hall. No, I'm sorry. My bad. It was, yes, Boye Mafe got targeted once on a screen pass, and he gave up 13 yards on that play. Sorry, I forgot who I was talking about. So, 1 target, 1 catch, 13 yards. Not much to say about it other than that. Mafe's not really a cover player, so I don't really think it's his fault if he's getting beat up in coverage. And we're talking about 5 targets over the course of 15 games. That's not really the thing I'm thinking about when I look at Boye Mafe. Anyway, nobody else got targeted here, so all good, all good, all good. Cornerbacks. Let's go to cornerbacks here. Let's go with Rico Woolen, who had one of his best games ever, according to PFF, I believe. So we're talking 5 targets here for 3 catches. And let's get an idea of the yardage here. It's 17. 17 yards on 5 targets. He should have had a pick six, dropped it. Not an easy catch, though. But it was a really impressive play that he made to be in the area to catch it, to almost catch it. And bottom line is 17 yards on 5 targets is some really good football from an outside cornerback. I know Tennessee doesn't have receivers, but it's still really good. QB rating allowed for Woolen's now down to 73.4. This is why I stress so much about Woolen figuring out the tackling thing. He is too good to let something like tackling derail his career. His coverage skills, even this year, when he's been a little bit of a disappointment, are really, really stellar. Witherspoon did not play, so nothing new there. Jackson did play a good amount. He got targeted twice, and I believe he, allowed 2 completions for all of 13 yards. Again, I can totally deal with that from a cornerback. I can totally deal with that from an outside cornerback, especially. Mostly air yards, I think. QB rating allowed is now sitting at 83.6. I mean, Mike Jackson is a roller coaster. There's no doubt about it. Mike Jackson has been really, really tough to kind of figure out here. But so far this year, when he's played, he's actually been very good. He's allowed a lower QB rating than Witherspoon. Now, I don't think he's been better than Witherspoon or anything, but the point is, the guy is performing right now in coverage. It's got to be said. Trey Brown, he played in this game as well, but he only got targeted one time, and he allowed, I believe, yeah, the one completion, and it went for 13 yards. I think he had a PI call, but the PI call was nonsense, so I'm not even going to hold that against him. Trey Brown continues to have a really solid year. So, hey, the cornerback room has come together nicely. The worst I can say about the cornerback room is Kobe Bryant, 3 targets, and I believe it was, yeah, 3 completions for a grand total of, let me make sure I get the numbers right here. Yeah, 27 yards. So that's a little bit of a problem. Kobe Bryant, now, obviously he's only out there because of injuries, but it is too bad that he's just not coming along here. So we got to figure out the Kobe Bryant thing as well, because he is way too good at punching the ball out for us to not utilize. He is an artist of forcing fumbles. We need to find a way to use that. And I think a good coaching staff would be able to figure it out. I really do. So Kobe Bryant, still struggling along in coverage here in a small sample size, but there's somewhere out there, there's a place for him. And then you've got Artie Burns here. He got targeted 3 times. 2 completions. Sorry, I have to look everything up, guys, but there's so many numbers flying around here, it's hard. 31 yards, so not the best, not the worst, just kind of an okay game. He picked up a dumb penalty as well in the red zone, and not his best game, but he's holding the fort down while we wait for Witherspoon to get back, which should be hopefully this week. But cornerbacks overall, not too bad. Definitely some issues, but you would expect issues when Witherspoon is out. So I'm feeling okay about that. Now we go to safety, and we've got Quandre Diggs, who I believe got targeted, yeah, twice in this game, and he allowed 0 completions. No completions allowed on Quandre this week, so that's really good. It seems like he's a little more comfortable in his current role than the role that he had when Adams was out there. And if that's the case, that's really bad. That makes the Adams thing all the worse if his presence is negatively affecting Diggs. But Diggs does seem like he's playing a little bit better. Julian Love, also, not much to speak of here. He got targeted twice. He allowed 1 completion. He had that one great breakup on a ball thrown over the middle to his man, and he broke it up. Allowed 1 catch for 10 yards. He looks like he's bringing some really positive things to the table here. And while I am aware of the fact that it's been a rough season for him, I continue to want to see what he can do in this new role with Adams just completely out or minimized. Because I do think Adams will play this week, but I want to see him minimized as much as possible. Use him in the right way, because clearly using him for every single snap is just the wrong way. And that's it for pass coverage Thursday. There's not much to say overall because the Titans didn't throw the ball for that many yards. It was a very quiet game for them. And hey, quiet in this case is very good. All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming later today. And streaming with the Hawks Nest tonight, talking about this upcoming Steelers game. See you guys there. Go Hawks.